Witch is directed by Robert Eggers and stars Anya Taylor-Joy, I believe I said her name correctly, as a young girl who lives in 1630s New England on a small farm with her family, and there just might be a witch that lives out in the woods causing some serious problems for this family. I was really excited to see this movie because I've heard so much about it. Lots of buzz. I love horror films. I love a good horror film, and walking out of this theater, man was I pumped because I saw a great one. One of the things I love so much about this movie is that it's not just about a witch. It's not just horror conventions and cliches and tropes that we're used to seeing just because they can do some scary stuff with some music or some jump scares. It's really about how a terrible situation brought on by a supernatural entity affects a family. This movie is more so about this family tearing themselves apart when one family member gets snatched away by said witch. They don't know if there's something in the woods, they're unsure of what's going on, and they all start to suspect one another. They're stuck on this small little farm, and it becomes very suspenseful and very tragically dramatic because you see this entire family's foundation erode because of this witch, but none of them really know what's actually going on. And that's why this film was so great. It wasn't just about something scary, it was about how that scary thing can have an effect on a family. And so it felt more realistic and grounded. You could actually relate to these characters, and the acting was terrific, particularly the daughter and the father. These are two really good performances. The young boy of the family was a little hot and cold for me. He came in, he had some really good lines, and then he had some really terrible lines as well. And then there's one scene where he just blew me away that scared the crap out of me. I won't spoil it for you. I was just sitting there like... Okay, it's a good scene. This movie also features a haunting score that really emphasizes how important a great score is for a horror film. It builds certain scenes up so much, and it really makes you feel the true horror of the horrifying situation. There's also very tense editing, long takes, slow-moving slider shots, things that can really creep up on you and get you into the film, and a style that really makes you appreciate the location. And that's one of the things I loved about The Witch. You feel this environment. It's a very claustrophobic movie. Also, what's great is the depiction of the witch. The way it's used, I won't get into it because you just have to experience it, but the way they set up this character and the way she was able to do certain things was really great. I was enthralled by that aspect of the movie. It really got under my skin in the best type of way. As for issues, the first act is a little slow. There is about 20 minutes where you're like, where's this movie going? And once you realize that it's really more about the family, it starts to make more sense because for about 20 minutes there, you're like, let's get going here. Let's get going. The first 10 minutes were amazing. There's some incredible cinematography, but then it gets a little bit slow for a minute. But once the second act starts and into that third act, and especially the ending, this movie was brilliant. I loved all of that. Some aspects of the way this film was directed and the cinematography did remind me of The Village. It looks really great, but I do wish the colors were a little more vibrant. It can be very dull looking and very gray. But that is in a way reflecting the depression that's going through this family and the terrible situation they're in. Possibly. I'm just kind of assuming what the director may have been going for, but it did look a little bit dour to me, and I wish the colors were a little bit more vibrant, but that's kind of a nitpick, I guess. It's not really that much of a criticism. The Witch is a terrifically suspenseful film with a very good story, an excellent acting, and an amazing ending. Beautiful score. I mean, this is a really good horror film. I'm going to give The Witch an A-. I hope it's opening near you. If it is, check it out. It is worth your time. Some people may hate this film. It's unconventionally edited and directed, and it's almost perversely designed to make you feel uneasy, which worked for me, but some audiences who just want your typical horror film may hate that. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.